Okay, but now we're gonna play Roboquest, and yeah, it's really, life isn't fair. That's so mean to say. Some people think like it's a weird statement or whatever, but I think a lot of people, everybody basically deserves to be happy, right? I mean, deserve in a way, not that you do something for it, but they should have the same opportunities. And the ideal world we can create is basically a world where everybody has the best, outcome they could potentially want. And since we're gonna have influence on everything, right, from genes to the environment, right, you can create the world everybody wants, basically. So I think it's not an utopia, but it is a very, very likely future if if the AI wants to help us, right? If it doesn't want to help us, fuck us, I guess. But yeah, okay, let's look at our run history. It doesn't look very rosy, but since last time, I think, what did change? All right, we unlocked the highest difficulty here and already won a few runs on it. But also, you can see here, this is the new class, the Elementalist. And yeah, how do I say that without bashing it? The Elementalist is kind of hard to play as, I feel, on this difficulty. I don't know why, I just feel the skills aren't the strongest overall, so yeah, kind of not so sure if I like it that much, but it does have potential, I think, for fun runs, but just, yeah. And I also S-ranked it already, but not all of this was off-stream. But yeah, what I wanted to look at is we just beat it with this, so we're going to play as the next class, and Compendium's at 87%. And we also are still missing, I think, a few lore things or whatever, but in general, we really played a lot. Okay, so we're back at the Commando. I don't know how good this one is either. I can already tell you which classes are easier to win with. This one because he has a shield. This one because he has a decoy, this one because he has a decoy, this one because he has drones. Everything that has decoys and drones, or a shield, and for that matter, really, really makes the last boss fight a lot easier. So yeah, these are basically the easier ones. But we're gonna play as the Commando. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick the ones we didn't pick before. So everything that has new on it, I'm gonna pick. So we might get a little bit weaker, or be a little bit weaker than usually, right? And this is basic Guardian 4, and we already S-ranked it, and this is the highest difficulty, as you can see here. And I really like the progression here, right? The visuals, I think I already showed it, but it's really cute. It starts like really friendly and progressively gets darker here, and the moon rises basically, and this is just like the highest difficulty, and it's pretty hard. I wouldn't say it's insanely difficult, but I would say for the average player it's going to be a real challenge to beat the difficulty without going for a really OP build. Is it a roguelite? Yes, it's a roguelite, FPS, right? And it also has co-op for at least 2 players. I don't know if it's more. I don't know, I never played it, but yeah. Oh, and I also heard something, because we said that as potential upside. When we played Lords of the Fallen, I talked about the co-op experience, that there is full co-op, but it seems like maybe it's not as great, as well implemented as I hoped, but I don't know. So just research that before you actually buy it for a co-op. Okay, so we're gonna pick the new one. Terrible, actually. I would never pick that, but that's why we're doing it, so yeah. Yeah, and yeah, what does the difficulty actually change? First of all, the enemies attack way faster, and as far as I know, the projectiles fly faster too, but I might just be imagining things. And also, the enemies that spawn are different, so they have more HP, are more aggressive, faster. But also, different enemies can spawn earlier, right? So here we can already get elite enemies, we can also get way different guys, right? You can already see here, there are a lot of enemies you would usually find way later in the game. And also these guys here are new, and yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff going on here. I'm still not sure if these bouncy guys, you should maybe get them to clash into each other or something. And one of the things I criticized about the game, not criticized, but already mentioned last time, I'm not sure if I like the jetpack when it comes to how the jumping puzzles are handled, because it really trivializes them and almost makes them like irrelevant gameplay wise. So I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of this design decision, but then again, people who don't like the jumping puzzles might actually really like it, because it's basically like turning them off. So yeah, it could be pretty nice. And we already played this game a lot on stream, right, in the early access version. So even though we didn't play the launch version on stream as much, I already played a lot of runs off stream. The reason why I don't do them on stream too much is because I just feel it's very repetitive from you know, what I can say about it perspective. So and it's not very story driven. So I'm just gonna, you know, do a few runs of these games on stream unless they're super story focused, right? So yeah, roguelites basically are something I also enjoy while listening to music or just, you know, hearing podcasts or whatever. So that's the reason basically why I also do a lot of stuff off stream when it comes to these games. Choose an element, increases all damage of the element for Fury Point. I mean, sure. You know what, the scanning burst, it's new, right? I'm just gonna select something I wouldn't usually. I think this is good actually. The scanning burst I can appreciate. By the way, we're not gonna get S rank because I'm talking so much. That's perfectly fine. Ah, that's so good. Unfortunately, we can't get the other one. Here, just select something at random, right? I don't even know. Maybe this one this time. Just go somewhere. Pretty sure there is a route that's easier than the others, depending on what build you have, so... yeah, it might be pretty nice. And also I had a build that was pretty melee focused last time. And by the way, there is an American streamer, Dan Giesling, that, well, okay, he speaks Danglish half of the time anyway, so his personal version of English. But he does pronounce melee melee, so not only Germans do that, but I'm gonna pronounce this melee because it's the more common way to pronounce it in the future on. Again, thank you at Apricorn for correcting me. I always like when you correct my common mistakes, right? Because I can't do it myself, because if I wouldn't know what's wrong, I mean, often I do make mistakes I know are wrong, right? So I can correct them in hindsight, but some of them I actually don't know, so I'm always glad when somebody points them out so I can actually improve myself. Yeah, so I never mind that, right? Some people might not like it, but I really do, because how can I improve if I don't actually get feedback, right? I mean, I could think about it myself every single time, but you know, that's way more difficult, especially when you stream a game. Okay, this is also really good. I think our start here is very promising. Feels very good, damage-wise so far. Yeah, I think the shorty marking system is really good. But I think it might be, you might have to take the other one to get it, so maybe it's not as good because you're gonna waste 2 level ups on it basically. So it made it faster too, right? Attack speed in 1 second cooldown. How fast is the cooldown at the moment? Oh, it's pretty quick. Basically, you can assume that almost every enemy you're going to attack is going to be marked, which is kind of nice. Yeah, the enemies that basically also get super buffed by attacking faster are the ones that fire the laser beams, because they track you way better. So they are really dangerous now. Interesting. Well, I mean, it's new, right? We said we're gonna take new ones, but I don't feel it does a lot of damage anyway, so I would usually also not take this one, but right, it really doesn't do a lot of damage, so... yeah, I'm still curious if streaming game with the awards was for ongoing game. Probably not. Probably they actually meant the streaming experience. I mean, that's really good, but also really bad at the same time. So I'm kind of hesitant because 50% duration decrease is really, really high. So you might really get a lot less. But yeah, I think the most important component for a successful run in this game is to somehow get a lot of damage. Or a really good defensive ability, but usually killing the enemies quickly is basically the best defense you can get. So at the moment I think our damage is slowly starting to drop off, so I'm not kinda that happy with that, but the range is really, really big. Yeah, we're almost dead, by the way, because I'm not playing very well at the moment. Okay, I mean, sure. Short into Headhunter. Fires a long-range shot which can deal critical damage with a 1.75 critical ratio. Dealing critical damage with Shorty instantly recovers its cooldown. I mean, that sounds really cool, actually. Not sure if I think it's gonna save the run, to be honest, but at least we unlocked, you know, new potential upgrade paths. Well, the information about them, but you can always pick them if you want to. You just need to know they're there. And this is really good. Like, Jesus Christ. But this is actually insane because every time we crit, it resets. But even if it doesn't, it still has a very low cooldown. It also marks. I mean, this is really good. And this one, by the way, deals melee damage, so... Okay, this is actually where we're gonna die. I can feel it already. Seriously, oh my god, this is insane. Wow, I didn't expect this to be this good. I mean, if you hit, obviously. If you don't hit, you're fucked. Yeah, I think the additional healing from the cells isn't good enough, right? We can't actually pick them up. I really have to get used to it because the problem is usually I mean, it is even better than the rocket. So if I would play this build, I probably would put it on the right click instead. Because every time I have to do this, I have to put my thumb on the side mouse button, which is usually when I don't need to aim too well, right? Because I'm losing out on the grip, basically. And I use it for melee because it doesn't really matter too much. In this case, since we are using it constantly, it actually might be better to put it somewhere else. For example, the right mouse button or something. I mean, it's seriously insanely good. And this is going to be insane against bosses too. But as far as I remember, you played Gunfire Reborn, right? Watch my jokes? As far as if you're still there. This game is kind of like that, but just a real FPS. It's not too much about the builds. It's about the builds, but it's always about aiming too, so... And movement. You're never gonna get a free lunch in this game. I mean, at least not on the higher difficulties. This is kind of weird. But in a good way, right? Yeah, now the attack speed kind of makes sense. Shorty grants Rocket 100% auto. I mean, that's interesting. That's also cool. Okay, so now we're basically just making the shortcut default. I mean, I'm thinking about even putting it on a different button for that. This is really annoying to press the thumb button the entire time. Nah. Yeah, these are all kind of bad, which is good, right? Because we can focus on getting something else instead. And that's so good. If we get something that can actually burn. Good thing we didn't take the thing that burns us when we attacked, because we would have gotten fucked by the game. I mean, I'm kind of playing terribly at the moment, which is why we're getting fucked so hard. I still think the weapon's really good. Does it burn? No, it's just... No, it's not. Let's hit scan. I wonder, is it good? And I hate this guy. The shield guy is so annoying. Yeah, the thing is I really can't aim that well if I have my thumb on the attack key every single time. With the first shot is fine, but the other ones aren't really, so... Oh yeah, these are also way faster, by the way, so it's really hard to hit them compared to the lower difficulties. Yeah, I don't know, I'm just overthinking it now, because... Yeah, I think actually the downside from the laser is that it's way harder just to quickly apply mark if you don't want to, you know, go for the crit instead. But if you hit them right, like this is really good damage. I mean, obviously, right? It does a lot of damage. I don't even know when we want to use the rocket now, because this is way better than the rocket actually. Yeah, this is really good. I think this run has potential. I just don't think the controls are ideal for this. Yeah, that's what I basically meant, right? You can just trivialize these sections. Yeah, I like that. I mean, being slow, whatever, right? I don't really care too much about that. And really, thumbs up for the analytics on YouTube, right? You can actually see so much there that it's so much more transparent than you might think if you never uploaded a video. Creators can see so many metrics. Yeah, I really, really appreciate that. That doesn't mean that the algorithm is very, you know, weird sometimes, but I still think it's very good, easy to see what happened to a video, right? So I think they try to provide as much insight as they can. Sure, it's also new. I'm just taking what's new, right? Seems to work out well, right? Sometimes you don't know what's coming, so it's maybe not bad to do this from time to time. This is really good. This is also really good. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Oh, that's really good too. Now suddenly things we would never have taken before become good. I still don't know how we can get to the additional thing here. The data log we can see here, because if I go here, I never managed to get to it, so... Yeah, since we're not in a rush because we don't care about the rating, we just basically snipe here. Yeah, this is super cool. Hate these. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna check for does it actually also do more give us additional, I don't even know, maybe it doesn't give additional heals. Yeah, this is really weird. Every single time I try to get here and, you know, find it, I kind of can't get to it, but I don't know why. Maybe I'm just missing something really, really obvious or so. But I just don't know. Yeah, I don't know. If you know how to get there, you can spoil it, by the way, because it's been multiple times that I didn't find the way, so if you know how to get to it, I wouldn't mind you're telling me, because I really don't know what else to do than to actually Google, right? I really tried everything I can think of. Maybe there is a hole somewhere I didn't see, or I don't know, even shooting things, right, doesn't really make a difference. You can't get any higher here because there's an invisible wall. Alright, we also have the grappling hook, which I actually used for some builds so far. Yeah, I just don't know how to get to that. And then I think even if you loop around at the end, you can't get to it, so... Yeah, it's kind of super confusing to me how to get there. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, our weapon doesn't do a lot of damage, but that's okay, because our laser does a lot of damage, so... And right, if you're still there, watch my jokes. You also, we also met, I think, when I was playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I'm playing it currently on my OLED TV off stream a bit too. I'm playing too many games at the same time. I think this marks the time in my life where I played so many games at once, like never before, right? And by that I don't mean I spent much time playing games, or more than usual. What I mean is that I'm just playing a lot of games at the same time without finishing one. That's so fucking crazy. Just too much shit going on. Okay, I'm kind of getting fucked here. Yay, we got a car. Yeah, I was looking at the car. You can check my eyes. Fuck me.